Hello, hello. Welcome everyone for Bundesliga Matchday 27 review. It was an interesting match day, from the goals perspective. We had quite a few high scoring games Augsburg versus Stuttgart, then the Rhine Derby, and then Heidenheim versus Leverkusen. There were goals galore in those games. The teams were scoring goals left, right, and center. So we'll get started with the last game, which happened Augsburg versus Stuttgart. To start with, I was very disappointed the way Stuttgart lost out to Porto. I'm not to saying that Porto are some weak team or Stuttgart are too strong for them, but as a German fan, as a Bundesliga fan, you would like to see top clubs of your league putting up fights in Europe, and sadly, that didn't happen. And Stuttgart, they lost 4-1 on aggregate to Porto, but in the league, they are still, getting that pace, and they have got and they got Augsburg 5-2. It was a early 30 minutes blitz by the Stuttgart that blew away Augsburg. Undav opened the scoring, and then Thomas made it two in 29th minute, and Nate scored the third goal in 31 minutes, and in 31 minutes it was just 3-0. Augsburg were nowhere in the game. And then after the halftime, Augsburg came back. They scored one goal in 57th minute, but Undav, he again scored another goal. He completed his brace, and he scored the goal in 58th minute, which made it 4-1. And the high press of Stuttgart, Augsburg, they really could not do anything with that, and they really struggled against it. And then Cade, he scored from an rebound in the 71 minute to made it 4-2. We thought there could be a chance, but then Stuttgart shut the shop, and Demirovic got a goal in 83rd minute from Undav. And Undav, as usual, lately, he was the star of the game. He scored two and got an assist. So he really has been the man for the Stuttgart this season. He is really carrying them on his shoulders. I think he's around on 18 to 19 goals, I believe. I have to confirm on that. But yeah, that's a very good goal tell, to be honest. So that was the first game. The last game, but the first game which we are discussing. And now moving to the second last game which happened. It was, it happened on Sunday night again. So it was St. Pauli versus Freiburg. St. Pauli, they got an opener goal, and it looked like they might be able to get those 3 points, and they can rise above the relegation zone. And they kept their lead intact, to be honest, till 65th minute. Sinani scored in 24th minute, and until 65th minute, they were leading 1-0. But Matanovic, ex Saint Pauli guy, he had other thoughts. He scored a 10-minute brace. He scored in 65th minute, and then again he scored again, and then Iris scored a goal in 76th minute, and then Matanovic completed his brace in 78th minute, and that was game set match for Freiburg. And Saint Pauli, they are still lingering on that 16th position with 24 points. So things are not really looking good for them. The bottom of the table, like I said, I have been saying it quite often. It is very, very tight, down there. So I just confirmed again. St. Pauli, 27 games, 24 points on 16th position. So now moving to the first derby. The derby which happened on Sunday, early in the day, tonight. It's Rhein-Main Derby between Mainz and Frankfurt. Mainz have been doing pretty decent in the UECL. They are into the next round in the knockouts. They are into the quarterfinals. But in the league, they are the bottom. They are in that bottom half of the table. which is not really looking good for them. And they needed this win in the derby. They got the bragging rights in Rhein-Main Derby. They won the game 2-1 versus Frankfurt versus their rivals. Big 3 points for Mainz. Nebel, he has hit the form at right time, to be honest. He opened the scoring from a deflected effort in ninth minute, and then Nithal Brown, who has been scoring some goals for Frankfurt, he got a goal. He got an equalizer in the 20th minute. So then it was a very end-to-end game, to be honest. No team was dominating one another. It was going end-to-end, but around the box they were getting caged, and no clear goal scoring opportunities were coming in until the 60th minute, when Frankfurt had a very good chance, but the header, goalkeeper got fingertips and it hit the crossbar, and it went back for the corner. So that was another chance which Frankfurt created. Uh, Mainz escaped from that. It really looked like that the game is going to end that way, but Nibble again, he scored a goal in 89th minute, and he gave Mainz a huge winner, which gave them those massive 3 points. And Mainz right now, they have got to 30 points, and they are on 11th position. I mean, position, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's just a game of, just a matter of 2 games, 6 points. Things can change, but right now, just before the international break, I think they are. I mean, more. I mean, they are in a comfortable position, like what they were at the start of this second half of the season. They were really looking in a bad shape at that point of time. They have picked up few wins, and which leaves them on 30 points. Now, moving to our yesterday's game, the Saturday night games. So I'll firstly start with the Dortmund versus Hamburg. Just fun fact, Dortmund got 3 penalties in the game. If it was some other club, I don't want to name that, it would have been a huge controversy. So talking about the scoreline, Dortmund won 3-2 versus Hamburg. They are solidifying their second position in the league. I really generally don't think, I don't want to play that underdog card and saying, hey, there's still a league left. 9 points from here, it really looks tough on Dortmund unless we squander our lead. That's the only chance that is left here. Now, coming back to the match, it was a come from back behind victory for Dortmund. Hamburg, to be honest, they started on a very good tempo. Their high press really made Dortmund struggle. Hamburg, they really started with a lot of confidence. They were high pressing Dortmund. They really made it very tough for Dortmund to play from the back, and it resulted a goal for them from Otele in 90 minutes, and then a beautiful through ball to Lokonga. He got to the ball in 38 minutes, and he scored the goal for Hamburg, and it was 2-0 Hamburg after 40 minutes. It did look like Hamburg will get this win, but then Dortmund won a penalty. Nemesha took it, but it was Beier who won the foul and he got the penalty. But Nemesha, he missed the penalty, so the score remained intact. And going into the halftime, Hamburg were in a very comfortable position of 2-0. And when in the second half, I'm still wondering, as a football fan, I understand, Hamburg are struggling. They are not a squad match for a Dortmund, but they literally went into their shell, and they was started to defend each and everything which was coming their way. And I mean, Vuskovic, he has been a rock for them, but when you're playing away, these things really come to haunt you, and it actually did. Ben Savani, who came as a sub, he then Bayer won a penalty, and Ben Savani, who came as a sub, he converted the first penalty in 73rd minute, and it was way too much Dortmund pressure. And they were creating left, right, and center chance. The chances were coming like left, right, and center. Hamburg were just barely surviving, and just after 5 minutes, Guresi scored the equalizer in 78th minute, and then Dortmund won another penalty, and Ben Sebaini scored the winner in 84th minute. So it was game set match for Dortmund, 3-2 win, 3 points in the bag. But the interesting news happened after that. It was officially announced that Karl is going to leave Dortmund. Do let me know in the comments if there were any rumors to it. I didn't read anything, building up to that. And him leaving, it didn't look very likely for me that he would be leaving, but he is leaving at end of this season in the summer, and so that means two departures for Dortmund. That's already confirmed. One is their sporting director Karl and Julian Brandt, like they announced. They're not gonna renew him, and then Nemesha, Giresi, Nico Schlotterbeck, they all have been, linked with away moves. So I think it's going to be a busy summer in Dortmund. Let's see how their summers, pan out. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep you all posted about it. And having said that, moving to our next game, it was a Rhine Derby. Two teams, both needing the win. Both wanted to get those crucial 3 points because both have been battling that, in that relegation zone. But for neutrals, it was a thriller. A 3-3 game. The way it started, absolute fireworks. There were 4 goals in first 20 minutes, with Kastrop opening in just 40 seconds, and then El Mala scoring the equalizer in the fourth minute, and then Ake, he scored a lead for the clone, in the 7th minute to make it 2-1, and then Sander in 20th minute he made it 2-2 for Glaba. It was, it was just end-to-end football, no control, just goals coming from everywhere. But then after that, game bit of calm down. There were some half chances, but none of the team had their full chances. So going into the halftime, it was 2-2, even Stevens. And when we came back from the break, Kastrop, he got his breaks and he scored Glaba's third goal, gave them the lead in 60th minute. It did look like that Glaba are going to get the bragging rights for the Rhine Derby, but Martel, he scored from a corner. He equalized for Cologne in 84th minute, and that was game 3-3, 3-3 for both the teams again. And then Martel got sending off for the second yellow card in 86th minute, and then Glaba did create some chances towards the end, but it didn't mean anything. But for the neutrals, it became an instant classic Rhine Derby, one for the history books, to be honest. That was a brilliant game. And today on Sunday, it has been just announced that Lucas, the coach of Cologne, he has been sacked, and his assistant coach, Rene Wagner, he would be taking over for the remainder of the season. So let's see if Cologne are able to save themselves. I think they are right now on 26 points, just 2 above the relegation playoff zone, that is Cologne, who are on 24 points. At St. Pauli, there's 2 points above them. Relegation zone, that's very, very tight, to be honest. For any team, that's very, very tight. So now moving to the FC Bayern Munich game, it did look like a 4-0 routine victory, but it was a bit of a sluggish win for us, to be honest. We started a bit slowly. We didn't create anything in first 20 minutes or so, but then Stanisic, he had probably one of the best games of this season for himself. He literally had 2 assists, which he could have easily got, but Gnabry and Karl missed those chances. He created the first chance for Karl from a counter attack. It was an easy goal, but Leonard Karl, he hit the post in 28th minute. Sadly for him, he didn't get his goal, and sadly for Stanisic, he didn't get his assist. So the game was a bit dull till the end of, just before the halftime, when Olise scored the opener in 43rd minute. It was a curler, Olise classic goal, which gave Bayern a 1-0 lead. And it did look like we are going into halftime with 1-0 lead, but Serge Gnabry, he scored right before the halftime and made it 2-0 for FC Bayern Munich. So it made the game a bit comfortable going into second half, to be honest. And then Harry Kane, who had missed an absolute sitter in the first half, he he scored in 49th minute from a very, very tough situation. It was very, mirror rescue goal from what he scored versus Atlanta. It's just that he didn't have that 360-degree turn. He just had a half a turn, and this was from left hand side, that was from right hand side, and from left hand side he hit the right far post, and it was 3-0 for FC Bayern Munich from there. And then Serge Gnabry made it 4 in 67th minute. But in between, there were few chances. Karl missed, an absolute sitter. It was a volley. He just had to place the goal. He missed it. And then Gnabry missed a long ball assist for Urbig. It could have been an assist for our boy Urbig. Then Olise hit the post in the 77th minute. And the worst of the lot, Harry Kane, he missed an absolute sitter just around 88th minute. So it was a funny game. We missed 9 big chances. I think we created the XG of around something 6 or something, but we scored 4 goals. So 9 big chances. I really hope this was the game which leveled out the XG for us, because we have been overperforming the XG. I really don't want XG catching up on us in that Real Madrid game. I mean, that's a game where we have to score each and every chance we get, because we know how Real Madrid play. They just need half a chance to get into that, a zone and get a lead or the equalizer. So we really don't want to be in that position, which would made it really, really tough for us. So I really hope this is a game which evens out everything, and praying to XG gods that please forgive us. We need to overperform our XG in the UCL knockout now, because that's the trophy which we are really looking up to. That's a trophy which we really want. So now moving to before moving to the next game, there is one bit of worrying news which is coming from FC Bayern camp. That is our Munich boy, Alex Pavlovich. He has got that hip injury again. He is feeling discomfort in his hip, and that's kind of a chronic injury which has been troubling him. I really hope it is not something serious, and we will talk about in the later of the show. He has been withdrawn from the German national team as well. So I really hope he gets some rest and he gets some good rehab, and he's raring to go, because just after we get finish off with the international break, the following week we are going to play Real Madrid away from home on Tuesday, that is 7th of April. So now moving to our next game, Wolfsburg versus Bremen. It was Wolfsburg's home game. Wolfsburg really needed that win, but that elusive win for Wolfsburg, it is not coming. It is not coming for them. So this is a game which they really, dominated. It was Beckhaus, the Bremen keeper, who was the star of the match, who saved everything, which was coming his way. The best save was in 45 plus 1 minute. I think you guys should watch it. It was a brilliant, reflex save by Beckhaus. Lindstrom hit a powerful shot, rising into the top half of the net, but Beckhaus somehow he fingertipped it to the crossbar and he saved the goal. And that actually proved to be, commentators are mentioning, we really need to come to this chance if Bremen are able to get that 1-0 win. And absolutely the same thing happened. Gemma scored a deflected goal in 68th minute from a deflected effort. A 1-0 win. Jens or the Wolfsburg, he got a late red card, but that save from Beckhaus really proved to be a match winner. For Bremen, they got crucial 3 points. They lift themselves above that relegation playoff zone. They are on 28 points now at 14th position. But I have to say that Eriksson was really had a wonderful game, but sadly it didn't count for anything. Wolfsburg are really in a free fall right now. Let's see if they can, in this international break, they are able to get themselves together, and then they come out after this break and get few wins which would save them. But it is really looking tough right now for them. Now moving to the second last game, it was Leverkusen versus Heidenheim. Again, a crazy game, to be honest. It was just goals in this game. So Leverkusen got an early, 2-0 lead with Tillman opening the scoring and Schick making it 2 in 35th minute. Going into the halftime, 2-0. Then Dosh, he hit a post in 48th minute. But Bremen's, that was a very weird goal. I would suggest everyone watching that goal. He from left hand side, he gave a cross for a header, but nobody got a touch. Goalkeeper didn't see it. It went in, and Hadnam got one goal back from there. And then Beringer, he won the penalty in 72 minutes, and then he converted the penalty as well, which made it 2-2 for Hadnam. And then Schick, he got his brace in 79th minute from a corner from a header. It looked like a winner for Leverkusen 3-2 win in 80th minute, but Peringer, he got another goal in 85th minute, which made it 3-3. Heidenheim, they stole very important points from Leverkusen. It would have been great for Leverkusen to get the win because Hoffenheim have dropped some points again. They could have been just 2 points off Hoffenheim if they had won this game, but not to be. Heidenheim lately has been stealing some points from the teams which have been needing those points. But Heidenheim, they are on 15 points. I really don't see a way out for them. They have to win all the remaining 7 games. But that's really tough right now. I don't see that happening. They are on last position, 15 points, 27 games, minus 34 GD. It is looking bad for them. So having said that, moving to the game which happened on Friday late night, it was a berserk performance by Leipzig. They absolutely killed their top 4 rivals, Hoffenheim. 5-0. They were blown. They literally blew away Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim hardly created any. I think they had just a couple of chances, but apart from that, they didn't create much. Gruda, he got a brace and an assist. And what a beautiful player he is. I really, would love to see him in German colors pretty soon. He's a great player. And then Baumgartner, he got a brace as well, and it was 4-0 before the halftime. Diamonde, he got a goal, but that was called off for an offside play. So that was a 4-0 going into the halftime. Then Leipzig kind of made few substitutions. They slowed down the game, but still Hoffenheim were not able to create much. And after that, they scored. The Henrich scored the goal in 78th minute, and it was game set match, to be honest. Hoffenheim, I thought they might qualify for Champions League, but it is looking tough right now for them. They have lost the form. Leipzig has the momentum. So let's talk about the table right now. It was us on the top of a table with 70 points, 9-point lead over Dortmund, who are on 61 points. Stuttgart, who won the game versus Augsburg, they are on 53 points. Then Leipzig and Hoffenheim, they are tied on 50 points each. But that 5-0 defeat has, really disturbed the Hoffenheim's goal difference. Their goal difference is 15 goals, and Leipzig are plus 18. So difference of 3 between Leipzig and Hoffenheim, which propels Leipzig to the number 4 position. And Hoffenheim, they are stuck on 5th right now with 50 points with a GD of plus 15. And then Leverkusen are on 46 points. Their GD is also got one up on Hoffenheim. So Hoffenheim are really looking, they might lose that spot, that spot, to be honest. And then Frankfurt are on 38 points. This defeat has brought Freiburg closer to them on 37 points. So that UECL spot race is also getting interested between these two teams. Let's see who grabs that spot. And then I'll go back to the bottom of table because the number 9th position is very much in danger, right now. Even the Union Berlin, they're on 31 points. St. Pauli are on 24 points, who are on 16th position. So that's just a difference of 7 points between them. So it can swing anyways. So the team, that area, lower half of the table is very jam packed right now with Augsburg on 11, Augsburg on 10th position with 31 points, Union 31 points, Mainz 30, Hamburg 30, Gladbach 29, Bremen 28, Cologne 26, Pauli 24, Wolfsburg 21. So that's a really, matchup which can swing pretty quickly in anyone's favor, and anyone can get, knocked out to the Bundesliga. So that has really become an interesting aspect right now. So let's see after international break how all the things pans out. So it's really, really interesting right now. Well, now coming to the international break. So it's international break time, and Julian Nagelsmann, he announced his squad on Thursday. So I mean, I do not really completely agree with the squad he has picked up. Uh, I mean, because of Paulo's injury, Angelo Stiller did get nominated just tonight, few minutes, sometime back. But I don't know on which grounds he left Angelo Stiller out of the squad. That was really, really, unlucky on him. I really felt bad for that guy. In my opinion, he should be one of the, starters with Pavlovic in the midfield. Leon Goretzka, you can take him for the experience, but I really don't think he should be starting over these two folks in the midfield. So that was one big, big controversial call made by uh, Julian Nagelsmann. The second controversial call which was made, it was Skade. He picked up Skade. I was going through the comments from Brentford fans. They were really surprised how he could be picked. He has 10 goals and assists under his belt. But El Mala, he could be the winger. He could provide that pace to the team, and then he has 13 goals and assists with him. And secondly, I really do not understand how Leroy Sané was picked, to be honest. He's getting benched in the, what to say, in the Super League in Turkey. He has 10 goals and assists. And then there is Maximilian Bayer, who has, I think, a goal and an assist of, I think, 13. Let me check that. Oh, it's 14 goals and assists total in Bundesliga for him. 8 goals, 6 assists. El Mala and Bayer, I think they should have been going instead of Sane and Skade. These are two very, very controversial calls. I really do not agree with how the squad is getting picked by Julius Nagel. I really do not understand what his plans are, but these really look very controversial to me. Let's see how these calls turn out to be. But I mean, if it were up to me, I would pick up Al Mala and Bayer both instead of Skade and Leroy Sané. I would have dropped them, to be honest. So those were the calls, the controversial call. Then Leon Goretzka, I really don't know. We all were admiring Julian Nagelsmann when he dropped him from the Euro 2024, but I don't know why he's getting picked now. He cannot give that impetus to a squad, to be honest. I really hope we are proven wrong, since we admire German national team. But this really looks a wrong call. Then Anton Stach was picked by him as well. That was a surprising call again. Felice Namesha, I think, to be honest, he deserved it. He should have been picked, and he has been picked. So I really have no problem at all with that call. And then extremely happy for our boy, Jonas Urbig. He deserved that call. He has been very good for us. His ball playing ability, his long balls are absolutely brilliant. So I do think he deserved that call. And then our golden boy, our next golden boy, Lennart Karl, he has been picked as well. So he has a 24 goals and assist. In total, he has 4 goals in Bundesliga, 4 assists. And then in Champions League, he has got 4 goals and 2 assists as well. So that really turned out to be in his favor, and he got picked in the national squad. I really hope he makes it worthwhile for all the Bayern and German national team fans. But the one major worrying news which is there for me, it is that is injury of Jamal Musiala. uh, I really hope, I'm really praying that really do not turn into something chronic problem. The stiffness and the irritation in his tendons, uh, that has been coming up again and again, and it has pushed his rehab plan a couple of times back as well, which is not really looking good. So I I really hope Jamal Musiala, he reuses time, he rehabs for these few weeks, because as much as German national team need him, FC Bayern Munich needs him as much as we know. I mean, he's extremely vital right now because he's the guy who can carry that ball, because Kimmich and Pavlovic, they struggle in that. They are not press resistant. So it is Jamal Musiala who can, get those players around him. He can, attract the players and make the spaces for other players. So he's extremely vital. Similarly, he is extremely vital for the German national team as well. So really, really hoping and praying there is nothing serious with Jamal Musiala, and we are really able to see him back to his best very soon after the international break. So that is something I really want to share with you, all of you, and I really hope we all pray for our Bambi. We need him. We really need him. So these are the news from the squad, which was announced by Julian Nagelsmann for the games versus for the friendlies versus Switzerland and Ghana. So let's see how it turns up, because World Cup is hitting up, the last international break before that, before the World Cup, and more than that, we need our players healthy. We need our players healthy when they come back to us. So with that, thank you. See you next time.